Hello, everybody, and welcome to Networking at Noon. Super excited to have you here with us today. I want to say welcome to Dr. Marnita on Fire for joining us. Glad to have you here with us.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here today. It's going to be an amazing time.
Oh, we're going to have us a lot of fun. We usually do when we get together. So,
Yes,
Dr.
absolutely.
Marnita, you've got so much going on in your world. Tell us a little bit about all the different things that you do working with people.
Well, my primary focus is Spy Cafe International, where I help take people from chaos to calm just by customizing spa services to fit their needs. And we really have some great conversations. So it's a added value to a life experience, even if it's just over a manicure. Outside of that, I am doing a lot of writing. I've been writing some blog posts and writing for other people. And that's my newest thing. I think that came out of me reading a lot. I read a lot. This year, I have read probably like 104 books already, and I'm thoroughly enjoying it. Just helping other people maximize their potential in the different areas of their life. That's what I really enjoy doing the most. And whatever venue that I choose in order to make that happen, it just gives me a lot of pleasure.
Now, so you're reading a lot, but I also know you're writing a lot. You've got a book that's coming out soon, that's out now. Can you tell us a little bit? What is the book? What's it about? What inspired you to write that?
The book is called Latchkeys to Your Soulful Self. The book started about 2.5 years ago as just some writings that I was doing around principles of life. And I decided to write 52 of them, one per week. So it's going to end up, it is a devotional book. And I've written 52 narratives, and I've asked 52 different people to pick a narrative and write their own personal story around that narrative, and that goes behind the narrative of the principal. Latchkeys, I don't know how many people out there are in my age group, but latchkeys came from, I was working out in the gym one day, and I thought when I was younger, we used to come home and we had these keychains around our neck, and that was, we let ourselves into the home, and so we were called latchkey kids. And latchkey for me means that you have these principles as the key to go into oneself and actually, do some introspection about what that principle means for you and how you can add value to your life with it. This other book that I'm writing now, which came by mistake, not mistake, I kind of happened chanced on it, if you really want to say that, is called The Proverbial Purpose. And so I'm writing all of these poems and things around different, it doesn't have a theme yet, but I pick a word and I write a passage around that proverbial word and what it means to me, and I share it.
Cool. And so we're here at Networking at Noon for those of you joining us live. If you have questions for Dr. Marnita, please do me a favor and leave those in the comments, and we'll pose those to her. Question for you, Dr. Marnita, for me is, when is Latchkey supposed to be coming out?
I am halfway done revising the stories that everyone has sent me. So my target date is more than likely, realistically, the end of the first quarter. I should be completely done with everyone's story and have collected. That's the challenge. Have collected everyone's story.
Yeah, it's hard when the more people you get involved, the harder that can get.
Yeah,
Matt Share sounds like great books.
but what's been really amazing about that book for me is turning out to be much more than what I had intended it to be, because people are really sharing some stories that they haven't shared with anyone else. And what I'm finding is that they're sharing with me, thank you for asking me to write it because it was so healing for me. And so that goes back to all of the vehicles in which I use to help people get the best that they want out of life, no matter which vehicle I'm choosing. So it's ended up being much bigger than I initially intended.
That's awesome. We go from, I remember years ago, it was like, how do I read more books? And now it sounds like you're reading a ton of books.
I'm reading a ton of books. I didn't know how to read 5 books a month, but I know when I asked that question at an incentive event, we when we were meeting in person, I asked them, how do people read 5 books a month? They say the the smartest people in the world, or the most powerful people in the world, they read 60 books. I could barely get through one. And then a person mentioned, well, what about audiobooks? I was always like the hard book, a paper book copy, turn your page. It's like, that's an idea. So I've turned off everything and I'm always reading, and I thoroughly enjoy it. So whereas before I wanted to read, now I am a reader, which led to the writing.
Awesome. Love it. Love it. Now, I know you got something else new. You've got a membership. You want to tell us a little bit about your membership? What is that all about?
So the membership at Spy Cafe, I have a small little place, and probably pre-COVID, it wasn't the most desired place to be because people like to go with their friends and, spend time in a spa with other people. But post-COVID, or in the interim of COVID, or wherever we are right now, my business has grown so much, and I wanted to create something special for the clients who chose to come here, and I wanted to create it in such a way that it has value, it makes them feel safe. They walk in with a sense of calm and courage and confidence, so they can really enjoy the service. And I came up with the membership program. So we have 2 different types of membership programs. One is a standard membership, and one is a platinum membership for Spy Cafe International. Both are good. One is no better than the other. It just depends on how much you like to engage in personal care, which is really important anytime, but especially right now. For anyone who would like to know more about the memberships, you can go to my business page at Facebook, Spy Cafe International. Leave me a message, and I'll reach out to you and share more of that with you.
Cool. So we talked a lot about business so far. At Ascentive, our goal is amazing business and spectacular life. So when you're not working, what do you like to do for fun?
I like movies. I like working out at the gym, whether it be on Bayshore or at the gym. It's been on Bayshore lately. And I've met a friend through my working out who has this beach house. And so they have it's amazing. They have invited me to visit their beach house whenever I get ready, when I just feel like I need some waves to listen to. And that's just been an extraordinary value that's been added to my life. So I like going out there as well.
What beach?
It's on Treasure Island. They have this private row of houses, and I had never been to a private beach before. And the water is maybe 20 feet away from the balcony of their porch. And it's such an extraordinary experience. I thought initially, the first time I went out there, I thought that I would just take this as a getaway. You know how writers get away and they need their space to write. I went out there the first time and I just relaxed on the back porch. I get engaged, but maybe subsequent times I'll get more involved in that whole Arthur thing.
I think sometimes it's nice just to relax. Well, yeah, definitely. It's kind of like, okay, yes, I could do some writing.
Right, well. Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm enjoying it.
Cool. So I know, you're one of our Ascentive facilitators, though you haven't been doing a lot of facilitating lately. When COVID started, you and I had a conversation around, do you want to do the Zoom stuff, or you just want to wait till we get back in person? And I think when we talked about that last year, we probably anticipated being back in person a little bit sooner than we have been. So hopefully next year we're going to be able to start doing some in-person programs again. I know a lot of the locations where we used to host them are still not open up to the community. So we're in waiting. But so I wanted to.
I'm looking forward to that. That was a period in my life that was had so much value. Oh my God, it had just so much value. I think before I even became a facilitator, I can't count And how many times that I even sat through the course, as do a lot of people that I know that I haven't seen in a while, but it has so much value that it gives to you on how to position yourself in the networking world, all of the little nuggets that it gives, and it just becomes a part of you. And using that to help other people is so it has so much value in the way that you do business and the way that you build relationships. It covers everything.
So can you tell us what doing the Ignite Your Business program, being a part of the Referrals for Life community created for you, as this is sponsored, our show is sponsored by Ascentive Tampa. So can you share what Ascentive Tampa created for you, please?
It allowed me to really get a larger vision of what I was really creating for Spy Cafe. So Spy Cafe came to Tampa 11 years ago now, and it came to Tampa as Spy Cafe. Now it is Spy Cafe International, with probably 3 more departments of services than I started off with. So it allowed me to expand my vision in regards to what I want to create for the community in which I live. But it also gave me a sense of confidence that I can step out of my role as a technician and be able to have a larger picture of where Spy Cafe is going. It allowed me to connect with so many different other business owners and just to bounce ideas off of them and how they were able to grow from a one-person company to a larger medium-sized company. And the value has just been indispensable.
Awesome. And so what's one tip you have when it comes to people, if they're looking to grow their business by referral, what's one tip you would give or share from the Ignite Your Business program?
It's all about relationships. And so, as we already said, I do a lot of reading. One of my favorites is Zig Ziglar. And he says, if you help enough people get what they want out of life, you'll get what you want out of life. You can have anything that you want. And that's probably a paraphrase, but when I think about that quote, that's what Ascentive does for the business community in which they serve. They teach people how to help other people get what they want out of life so they can have whatever it is they want. And you're never lost for relationships, even though you may be out of sight. I don't believe you ever are out of other people's mind and what you've done for them, how you've touched them. And a lot of times it's not about the monetary touch. It's the empathic touch. It's the guidance touch. It's the aspiring touch that you give people, helping them to get to where they're aspiring to be and helping them, navigate through, the problems of being a business owner and being engaged in a community, especially if you're new, because I came here almost 12 years ago and I didn't know a soul. And 12 years later, Spy Cafe International is still open through a pandemic, pre-pandemic, through a pandemic, and we're still here I can't even say post-pandemic, although I want to, but it's all about navigating those relationships and just helping other people get what they want out of life.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. So as we begin to wrap up here at Networking at Noon, again, those of you watching, if you have any questions for Dr. Marnita, do please put them in the chat. I know Matt was asking about the links to the books so you can purchase them, but I don't think we're quite there yet because the first one's going to be out next year.
Right. There's going to be a whole website. I'm going to do a whole website rollout for it. So I'm going to put it all over the social media pages. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on Instagram at Dr. Marnita on Fire. And of course, I'm going to, because a lot of my SPY clients want the book also, and a lot of them are in the book, they're going to want books as well. So,
yeah. And we'll be promoting it on the Ascentive page as well. Definitely anytime our team members have those books come out. It's interesting because Jason had a book come out a couple of years ago. Tom is working on a book now. You've got one coming out next year, so we'll definitely be promoting it when the team has.
Sean has a book.
Sean has a couple books. Yeah.
Good.
So we'll definitely be putting that out there. So the last two questions that I've got, my second to last question is, what is one tip that you want to give to people out there, just in general, not networking related per se, but just in general in life? What's one tip you want to give people?
If I had to give the ultimate tip, and what I've learned and how I've grown, is to whatever it is that you want, you have to become that want first. You really have to allow that want to permeate every sense of your being. And then this way that it gives you the motivation to move forward and to do the things that you need to do in order to get closer to that aspiring identity that you're trying to achieve. And there are people out there that will help you. And so just be the want that you aspire to be first, and then the do and the having comes after that. And I think that's pretty universal.
I love it. Love it. Last question I have for you is, what is your favorite brew?
Girl, I have this tea that I make every morning. It's a 5-flavor tea. What inspired me, Starbucks used to have this tea, but it's nothing like my tea. I kind of modified it a lot. So I use black tea, mint, ginger, turmeric, and peach. And I put some lemon and lime in it and cut some ginger root up in it and little sprinkle of some kind of sweetener I use in it. But it is so good. I have 5 tea bags hanging out of my cup every morning, and it stays hot in my thermal, and I just I try to make it last all day, but usually I can't. Usually it's gone before unless I'm like really engaged in something, and I can get it to last past noon. But that's my favorite beverage.
Gotcha.
The next would be a wine. But you didn't ask for my second best.
Nope, did not. All right. So for those of you watching, if you're looking to connect with Dr. Marnita, you can go to her Facebook page, which is facebook.com/Spa Cafe International. You can reach out to her. You can find her on social media, where she is always on fire. Thank you so very much for being here with us today, Dr. Marnita. So glad to have you with us.
Thank you so much, Tiffany. I love this. This is great. And I love what you're doing for the community. It's great. And I'm just glad to be here. Still as Dr. Marnita on fire.
We have to get that in at least once. I look forward to seeing y'all next week. We will be interviewing Lois Kramer, who is going to talk to us a little bit about Book More Business for those of you that like to speak, to make that happen. So I look forward to seeing you next week, same time, same place. Thank you, Dr. Marnita, for being here, and I'll see y'all soon. Happy networking.
Bye.